it is preparing a space for painting. So you don't just carry your Gravitex and start applying. Sometimes it can be a story building. There might be cars parked in the compound. So in a situation whereby they need to take those cars out, they should take it out, because you don't want a situation whereby you'll be applying your Gravitex paint and it will fall on vehicle, or it will splash on someone's vehicle, because Gravitex, when it dries, it becomes solidified. So and maybe if they want to scrape it from the vehicle, it can dent the vehicle. So it is advisable that whatever you need to take out of that space, if it is a vehicle, tell the owner, sir, maybe we should try and park it outside. So if you have other things in the compound, maybe they have footwears or other things, or they have carpet grass. You know, there are some places whereby they have carpet grass. So those things, you try to cover them with covering sheet, covering nylon. If it's something that you can remove, you remove them. But if it's something that you need to cover, you should cover that space. Another space preparation also, we have this covering sheet. You have covering sheet. So anywhere you want to do, because Gravitex, when you are applying it, it will be pouring on the floor. So in order to reduce, number one, in order to reduce cleaning of the space after cleaning, you make use of this covering sheet. And number two is that whatever drop that you have on that nylon, you can equally scoop it back inside the bucket and use, because Gravitex is not a very cheap paint, it's an expensive paint. So we also want to give, you don't just want to waste your client's material. So those ones that can be scooped on the nylon, so after finishing that portion, you scoop it from the nylon and pour it inside back your bucket. So we make use of this. And number two is for cleaning. Because Gravitex, when it solidifies, when it dries, it becomes very, very hard to scrape. So when you've used your covering sheet, it saves you time of coming back to clean that space again. So that's for space preparation. And for surface prep, sometimes you might have a dusty plaster. Maybe the plaster is dusty, so you can prime it before application, maybe with stabilizing solution. So it is a bonding liquid that bonds surface, because you want your Gravitex to stay on a firm plaster. Because wherever your paint is coming to, if that surface is not firm, it will affect whatever you are putting on. Even if the paint is quality, if you put a quality paint on a surface that is not firm, it will affect the durability of that paint. So if the surface is dusty, you prime it, stabilizing solution primer, you prime. And if you have holes, you fill those holes. And if you have surface defects like algae, mold growth, all those green stuff that come out as a result of moisture, wherever you have prolonged stay of moisture, wherever you have water, maybe very close to a gutter, or there's damp issue, and you start seeing those green stuff. So before you apply your Gravitex paint, you ensure that you treat that damp, you treat that algae or mold growth before you apply your. And also, if there are exterior lights, you try to cover them up. If it is something you use masking tape to tape around, you tape it. If it's something that you have to cover the entire light, you know there are some lights that are outside the building. So you try to cover them so that when you are applying your Gravitex paint, it does not stain those lights. So we take care of those space preparation. And Gravitex paint, it covers an average of between 3 to 4 square meters, depending on the applicator. So a bucket should cover average of 3 to 4 square meters, depending on application. There are some applicator that can stretch it a bit. It can go to maybe 4.5 square meters, or even 5 square meters. So, but averagely, it covers 3 to 4 square meters. So, and concerning the colors, it comes in various colors. The way our normal regular paint comes in different colors.
Is it the 20 liter that covers?
Yes, the 20 liters. It comes in mostly 20 liters. That's the pack size. So it usually comes in 20 liters bucket. So and we have various colors. Just like we have our regular paint colors, your Dove gray, your off-white. The only exception is brilliant white because of what it is being produced from. It is produced from marble dust. So it cannot give you that perfect brilliant white like this. So in situation whereby your client wants a perfect brilliant white like this, after the application of your Gravitex, you can apply white paint, white matte paint on it so that it will give you that brilliance. But for other colors, you can just apply your Gravitex in that particular color. And sometimes there might be batch difference. There might be batch difference. Whenever there's batch difference, you need to coat the entire building. Maybe you've applied this place now, and the batch is different from what you apply here. So it will affect the finishing details of that side of the wall. So it is advisable that you just paint it with matte paint. And you don't paint it with emulsion, because emulsion has a lifespan of between 6 months to a year plus. But matte paint can still last more than 5-7 years, depending on the quality of the matte paint. So it's advisable you apply matte paint, because if you apply emulsion on it and the emulsion fade, what they'll be seeing is that emulsion that fade, and they'll be thinking maybe it is the Gravitex paint. So, but when you apply matte on it, it enhances the durability and the durability of the paint. So I think that's all on the theoretical part of Gravitex paint. I don't know if you have any question. Okay.
You apply it 2 times.
No, it's one-off. It is a one-off application. It is a one-off application. You only apply it once.
Okay. After that, and it will cover.
It will cover. You know, I said that it is a thick paint. You know, like test coat also. Test coat is usually one-off. If it is a very good test coat, it's usually one-off. So just like it has a thickness. The thickness is still more than this. The thickness is not up to this. Maybe let's say maybe like half of this. So there's no how you apply it that it will not cover that wall. So it's usually one coat application. And another thing, and thank you for that, is that if it is an exterior building, ensure that they've done everything they want to do. It's not that after applying Gravitex, they will not say they want to come and break one place. Because Gravitex is difficult to maintain. It has maintenance problems, such that maybe there's a hole here, they've done Gravitex, then they break this place, and we have hole. If you want to come and put another Gravitex, it will not rhyme with what you have there. You will see that this place, they've done maintenance. It's just like test coat. After applying test, maybe some parts, and try to do the maintenance. Yoruba will say, Oju apa o dabi oju ara. So you encourage them that, okay, it's Gravitex you want to apply. Finish whatever you want to do. Any place that you want to break it and fill them back before Gravitex is being applied.
The question
How much comment I sign one?
Average of 3 to 4 square meters. Your question, sir?
the question I want to ask, you did mention that once somebody has in mind to Gravitex an area, to apply Gravitex on the wall, it's not necessary to apply
Screening.
Yes. Due to what the Gravitex has to be firm on the wall. What if somebody now, the client now decide that, okay, I want to do Gravitex, but I don't want to plaster on the raw wall? Is it possible to apply Gravitex? Once you know that it's a texture paint, can we apply Gravitex? But at the place where someone was saying,
virgin wall that was not plastered.
Actually, it is not advisable to apply Gravitex on a virgin wall. It's not advisable, because even plaster itself, it has a function. It performs on a block work.
Yes, on the block.
So it has a function it performs. And number two, although I've not seen when they apply Gravitex on virgin wall, but I've seen for Taolin.
Yes.
After the application of Taolin, and you look at that wall, you'll be seeing the lines of the block. So there's every tendency also that if you apply the Gravitex on it, it's possible that you might be seeing all those, and to affect the finishing of Gravitex paint. So it's advisable that they should do the plaster before the application of Gravitex.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sodi.
Welcome, sir.
My question is, can we apply application for Gravitex is just one, and then can we apply it on a test coat wall?
Yes, we can.
Not being scraped.
Yeah, we can apply it on a textured wall, on a test coat wall.
Is it going to give us, a perfect finishing?
Yeah, it will give us a perfect fit, depending on how coarse the test coat is. If it is smooth test coat, if you apply your Gravitex on it, you won't even have any issue. But with all those coarse, the rough test coat, it is possible to have a good finish. You can grind off that test coat. There's grinding machine, or just scraper, just use it to scrape those places that are heavily coarse. So you just scrape it just to reduce the sharpness before applying your Gravitex. And there's grinding machine also. You just use it to grind it a bit, just make the surface a bit smooth. But Gravitex is a textured paint, and you should be able to cover test coat because of the thickness level. Boss.
Okay. All right. So you so really appreciate what you have been doing so much Alao to go through. So first thing I want to ask about this Gravitex. Can you apply for the interior?
Yes, you can apply it for interior. You can apply
What is
it.
the difference between this Gravitex, unlike satin?
You know, satin, our mat, they are flat paint. They are very flat paint. So they are flat paint, but Gravitex is a textured paint. It has a level of thickness. It is thicker than screeding. So let's just assume maybe like half of this floating trowel, or maybe 2/3 of this level. That's the thickness of Gravitex, depending on the application. So you can do it interior, you can do it exterior, but mostly it is being done on exterior.
Then the 20 liters can cover how many space or how many rooms?
3 to 4 square meters, depending on the applicator. It can even cover 2 square meters, depending on how it is being applied. So you can cover 5 square meters, depending on the applicator. So the more you stretch it, the more it goes far. The more you load it, the more the coverage reduces.
There's something I did not get
Okay.
when you are explaining before I do it. You are saying, you said some pattern, you mentioned the vertical pattern and the horizontal and the floral pattern, which is like circle. And you mentioned like diagonal pattern, which is like slants.
Yes, angle 45.
Slant. So I want to ask again, there's a pattern you mentioned. It's applicable, it functions like the vertical, vertical and horizontal.
And so it is the Granada.
Granada.
Yes, Granada.
Oh, Granada. Okay. If we want to apply Granada, I don't know, maybe you understand my meaning. So, are we going to start in horizontal?
You can start with whatever pattern. If you start with vertical, so you still equally do horizontal. So if you start with horizontal, you still do vertical. Since
Immediately.
it's immediately. It's immediately. So.
Granada.
So, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
I have some questions here based on what people have been asking. So,
Okay.
if you are someone that's also watching online, you can leave your question in the chat. So, I think I have about 7 or 8 questions here. So, before using Gravitex, is it necessary you do priming? It's a primer.
Yes, I said that earlier. I said if the surface is dusting, you have a surface that is dusting, you have stabilizing solution primer. So it is a bonding primer that bond such wall. It bond it very well before the application of Gravitex. Remember, no matter how quality your paint is, if your surface is friable, is dusting, like your surface is not firm, whatever you are applying on it will not last, compared to when you prime that wall.
Okay. So my second question is, how long does it last? Gravitex.
It can last, let's just say an average of 5 years and above. It can last 10 years, can last 15. Nothing will affect it. The only thing that can affect it is water. If you have high level of water, maybe that place is a very severe, damp. Even the plaster, damp that is affecting plaster, so it will affect Gravitex also. So that's the only stuff that can affect your Gravitex paint. If the wall does not have any water issue and nobody goes there to arc it off or grind it off, it can last long. The only thing is that you might need to repaint maybe after 5 years and you feel that it is not that sharp. So you can just repaint it with matte paint. So that's the only maintenance you need to, just to be repainting it if you don't. And you can change it to any color. Maybe you use dark gray now and you want to later change it to off-white. It's just applying off-white on that existing paint.
So the next question is it necessary to repaint over it? Like immediately you finish doing it, is it necessary to repaint it? Or what are some conditions that warrant you to paint and maybe a flat paint over Gravitex?
It depends. Like Gravitex paint now is not as, should I say, it's not as beautiful as matte. If you apply Gravitex, just normal Gravitex here, and a place where you have applied Gravitex and you later put matte, you see that the matte, the quality of matte reflect on the Gravitex. So definitely when you paint it with matte paint, the finishing will be different from the regular Gravitex. But it does not mean that you can't leave your Gravitex like that. As I said, it's a one-off. When you apply it, it gives you a good finish also. But if you want to enhance it, or number two, maybe there's color variation, different batch, and this batch is different from this batch. In order to make everything uniform, you paint it with matte paint to give you one single color. But in situation whereby you don't have color discrepancy, there's no different, but everything is the same color, it's good to go.
So my next question is, for normal paints, you can paint the main body of the house with dark gray, then the corridor with light gray. Can you also do the same with Gravitex?
Yes, you can do the same thing with Gravitex. It's just getting the paint that will be, maybe this corridor now, it is let's assume it's a 12 square meter. You just assign, if you want to paint it, maybe the exterior is dark gray and the corridor, the veranda is dove gray. If you have two veranda, you are getting 6 buckets of Gravitex of dove gray and the rest will be dark gray. So it's just for you to get whatever color you want to, maybe even on a building, you want to use this particular color for the front view and another color for the left and right view. It's just calculating the square meter of that surface and make provision of paint that will cover that.
So when applying Gravitex, we understand that for Gravitex, for example, with emulsion paints now, or matte, when you apply it on the parapets, you just paint it. What if you are applying Gravitex for a building? Is it that you apply?
So if you are applying Gravitex, you still make use of your matte for the parapet and for the window wood. Gravitex is a texture paint, especially on those what do they call it? Window wood. So it will be very difficult to apply it on. So and it might not even give you a good finish. So those are window wood, you paint them normal with matte paint. And if it's emulsion you want to use, and your parapet also, you coat those ones with your regular matte paint. Except if it is a flat window wood, you can apply. Maybe all those ones that are like box, they are just like box. Those ones you can still apply your Gravitex. But if it's all those design type, it's just advisable paint them with matte. Then you do Gravitex on the main body.
So the next question is after how many coats should you apply Gravitex?
It is one coat, one off, because it has a thickness. It has a level of thickness already. So there's no how you apply it that it will not obliterate the existing wall.
So then how long should you wait before, like after the application, before drawing the line?
So it depends on the weather condition of that place. If it is in a sunny weather, mostly the way I do my own is that maybe I want to do, if it is a fence partition now, I can finish that fence partition. A fence partition is like maybe 8 square meter, average of 8 square meter, 10 square meter thereabout. So depending on how fast you can quickly apply that portion of that wall. So by the time you're applying it finish, you can start dragging from where you started from. So by that time, it will have dried a bit. So you just start the application. So we just need the Gravitex to dry a bit. Like the wash will absorb the water content a bit for us to be able to drag it. So that when you are dragging it, it will not be staining your floating trowel too much.
So what makes a good Gravitex paint and what makes a bad one? So like what do you look out for? You say, okay, I want it, when we are painting emulsion, you know that emulsion that has good coverage is very okay. But when you are saying Gravitex, what would you say, okay, this one is very good?
What makes it very good? A good Gravitex paint, you should have good binder. It's not something that when you're applying it is dropping. When you're applying it should be staying on the wall. I think binder is the most important thing to look for. And another thing you can look after is durability, and that is after application, maybe after 2 years or thereabout. But the most important content is the binder. And number 2, the type of stone that is inside your Gravitex will determine the type of stroke you'll be getting. If it is small stones that is inside, the width of the stroke you'll be having will be at that range. So if the stone inside is big stone, so it will determine how big your strokes will be. So I think that's another thing to look into also.
So do we have anybody with other questions?
Okay.
Thank you. So in terms of, you said like Gravitex have a thickness of 3 or 5 mm thickness. And in the case whereby, you are saying something, in the case whereby the batch of the product is different, and then you advise that after applying it, you should paint it matte so that everything can run. So in case whereby the client does not have money, and then to do that, and we want to give a perfect job, so you submit a perfect job, how are we going to, because Gravitex is a thick paint, how are we going to get one color, one pattern, and one color on the surface? So,
yeah, it depends on where you are getting the paint from.
Okay.
Depends on when they are.
And in time of production, whereby the batch is different, I know. So you like some paints now, we may have some batch of Tope that are different from, they bring another one. That one we are using when we paint the first one, and we want to continue, and the batch is different. So now, maybe we just started the project, and we discovered that within an hour, this first one we are using is different from the second one we open again. So how are we going to do it? I mean, how are we going to do it, or how are we going to mix it? That's what I'm going to because they thick paint, because I don't have any idea of maybe the same way they mix normal paint, they mix it. How are we going to get only one way?
Gravitex paint will be difficult to mix. You know, it's textured. How many texture paint do you want to be carrying together to? So the best solution, you can budget for painting after. Just include painting in your quotation. Like after the application of Gravitex, you include the numbers of buckets you use to paint the entire building. So that one will save you the stress of what if. So make provision for the painting. Now, like I said, just normal Gravitex application and applying matte will be different. There's no how. Matte will also show that myself, I did here. So
actually, based on what you have said, you will go there question. From my own opinion here, for a client to result of applying Gravitex instead of painting, he's trying to look at the cost. Yes. People now putting that, okay, after finishing it, you are going to buy paint again. It may be a burden, but we have some clients that can afford it. No doubt about that. But we also have to, because economy, cost effect sometimes. So what I would just advise on that, if you have no as how our resource person have said already, you have no you can calculate based on the average meter. So if it's possible to get excess, maybe the quotation estimation is either plus or minus. Maybe we get extra Gravitex buckets. You get my point now, so that you're able to avoid the issue of saying the battery is different, the color is different, still turning to the burden on the client. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to point out there, so that we just have maybe we are going to use 5 buckets. You can easily say 6, 7. To my own opinion, so that we save that stress on that client.
Okay, sorry.
What you mean is if the client wants to manage, he's talking about if the client did not have much that they want to manage, how can he manage that he will not bring out to paint that paint again?
Okay, before me to reply on that.
How can I reduce? How can we do? See, to make it simple, because everybody knows that sometimes paint batch different, and we mix it with hand.
Yes.
Let me just go straight to the point. So we discover we have like 10 buckets. We open the first one, we have already applied. The second one we open, we started painting, we started applying the Gravitex, and we discovered that it's different batch. So now to rectify, to solve the problem, or to have the same batch, how are we going to mix it? Because do you have any idea of mixing everything together? That is what I'm trying to ask.
And if you want to, you can use mixing machine to mix everything together. You can use mixing machine to mix. Maybe you get a very big drum that can accommodate those 10 drums. Then you mix it with your mixing machine and mix everything together.
Okay.
So my next question is, what are some common, let's move to the business aspect of this now. What are some common objections you see from customers? Like you said, pricing is one issue because you say, okay, painting matte on Gravitex is better, like it makes it come out more. And what are some common objections you get from customers? Is it like it's too expensive, or people are willing to actually do it? What's your own experience when it comes to Gravitex?
There's money in Nigeria. There's money in Nigeria. There's money. So it depends on the client. If the client cannot afford it, he can't afford it. If the client can afford it, the client can afford it. That's just it. It's just like, how should I put it? Yeah, it's just like that, actually. Like what you can afford, you can afford. Sad and emotion. Exactly. So it's what, if you can afford Gravitex, go for it. And there are some clients that they don't know that it is that expensive. They just, I saw this design in my friend's house. It look, because anywhere there's Gravitex, that building will stand out from other buildings. So a client can say that, I saw one building in Ekutu. I beg, painter, come cut am for me, just cut am. See, even just this, like this one now is an average of 8 square meter. Let's just say, assume that is 8 square meter. That's like 2 buckets of Gravitex. And Gravitex is like 25,000 and above. So just these 2 walls already is 50,000. And one emotion that is less than 5,000, just 1 gallon. We do this one. So it depends on the client. If you can afford it, you go for it. If you can't afford it.
Yeah, I said that a business aspect. For someone that want to get it as a contract or you want to get the job, what is the method for the quotation, the price, the yardstick or strategy somebody will use in determining the quotation to give it? Is it measured by square meter or per centimeter? To get the quantity of Gravitex you need for a project, you take the square meter. So if your square meter is maybe 200, you are dividing it. If you are going with 3.5 per bucket, or you are going with 4 square meter, it will be divided by 4 square meter. If you are using 3.5, you are dividing that 200 divided by 3.5. So it will give you the numbers of buckets. So per square meter, what is the average cost? Somebody can use to calculate.
So for workmanship, usually from 2K and above, depending on the height and the condition of the site. So usually a bucket is applied per bucket. So usually 2K and above per bucket. So it depends on the condition of the site, the height of the. And Gravitex is something that, like all these bricklayer, they used to have labor. So Gravitex also you need labor, especially if it is a height building, maybe just a single story. Because only you know if they go down, go carry paint, come. So you need somebody steady. So it's very heavy. So you need somebody steady, maybe a labor or a colleague that will be supplying you materials. Another thing, maybe where they kept materials might be a bit distant. Now only you go carry am from that place. Come carry am where you open am, carry am go up. No. So you need labor or so.
Do you have any other questions? So in the absence of any other question, I think we move to the
Practical session.
if the facilitator is Tope. Yeah, you are not tired yet.
Yeah, let's.
Tired, you can give me a brief of some minutes before we move on to.
You can go and apply.
Okay. So we'll move downstairs now. So Mr. Ronald,
Sawa sir. Aya sir, ko jono to sir. Awa sir. Awa sir. Baba admin.
We are going for the practical section now. So we are going for the practical section now.
Massive.
Okay, now so. We are okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Come on, to low. So we are doing the practical section.
Okay.
Then I come.
Until I say finish it back. I'm gonna need the empty bucket kan pẹ̀lú omi inú. Okay. This one.
Ṣé wọ́n ìṣe bí òní fún báyìí ṣá?
Ṣé láti apply ẹ̀? Bàbá wà lórí péèdì ńkọ́. Àwọn ilé mi wà lẹ́kẹ́ fẹ́ẹ̀sì àti bọ́dì ilé gan akọra.
Ṣé wọ́n ìlà fún apply sir wọ́n ẹlẹ́.
Téèyàn bá fẹ́ apply sí ẹ̀ ọ máa níbi wọ́n.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ pé ṣe é ó ti wá okay.
Albarka.
Ṣoṣo nǹkan tó ń ṣe.
Bẹ́ẹ̀.
Kò ṣó ẹ̀ dáadáa. Tí o bá ṣó ẹ̀rọ amẹ́tẹ́ yìí wọ́n sí ẹ̀rọ àtúkọ́ náà.
Wọ́n lè gún orí bíbá yìí.
Don't cut my fingers.
Bàbá yìí.
Máa gbé báyìí.
Ok, ẹ wá sẹ̀jẹ̀ sí mímọ́. Ẹ sẹ̀jẹ̀ pamọ́ ní ibi.
Ṣé kò ṣí?
Mẹ́ta ló wà pẹ̀lú Android phone mi.
Android phone tí o.
Ta fi ń wo.
Ó wà
Olórùn bẹ̀ wọ̀n níbẹ̀. Títọ̀dọ̀ yá.
Ẹ ti tọ̀dọ̀ mi.
Ṣé ń lo èèyàn kọ́ ló bẹ̀ ni?
Àwọn kí mo fún yín ta fi ṣé mo ti gbà padà nù.
Tóòtọ́ ni. Ó ta ní fóònù wa tí wọ́n fi.
Ọwọ́ mi ló wà.
Ok.
Ok, ẹ fẹ́ ṣe fídíò sórí ẹ̀ náà.
Ni wọ́n fi nǹkan wọn wà ní sample àwọn different types of traffic tests.
So we can use English for those people that are online that are watching. Someone is also clear that.
Ọmọ ṣàwọn ilé mọ́.
Okay, at the tape.
Just to do the different strokes.
Straight down.
Straight down.
So what we are doing is to tape it so that it should be neat. Tape me over, okay.
Dẹ́ lè ti pen store.
Téèpù wà ní ọwọ́ àbá. Ẹ̀yẹ́ ká bá ìyá yín ní téèpù.
Oníṣẹ́ ilẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ àwọn téèpù ọlọ́bẹ̀.
Ẹ̀yẹ́ kan ẹ̀lú ilé ìsà. This one. Má lọ téèpù ọlọ́bẹ̀. Téèpù yẹn ti disappoint. Kó má lọ disappoint àbá lọ ń ṣiṣẹ́ o.
Tape wọn nílé, ẹgbẹ́lé. Agbègbè agbègbè sẹ́yìn
Ẹdún sàn.
wọ́n sọ fún mi pé original lè ìgbà tí mo rà.
No, ẹdún. Ẹ jẹ́ alẹ́ lè náà. So a lè lẹ another one sí side bẹ́ẹ̀.
Eléyìí túnṣe ẹ bá mú ní original irọ́ lásán.
Àwọn Nàìjíríà. Àbò yàtọ̀. We have Alaba Abo. We have Muslim Am.
Sweet.
Thank you very much, Lazar Materials. I really appreciate it. Lazar says, look demonstration. So if you have any question, you can leave it and take it yourself as well.
Ṣé ìwà òkè àbí kan fún mi?
So a máa lẹ̀ míì pa.
Ó máa fẹ́ wọ̀.
Can we apply it?
Kí lè máa lẹ́yìn jàbí?
Fẹ́ lẹ̀ bá.
Ok, máa pẹ́.
So well done to everybody. Guys, make sure you are the tapping. Help your friend who is a painter. Share this particular live. Help a friend because this is the difference between making 1,000 naira and making 1 million naira.
Small.
You may not get this
Small
money
again.
anywhere.
Tó wà kébẹ̀ yàrá.
Yes.
I'm a painter. Can I add my painter to this? I don't understand the quota.
Wọ́n lọ kèsì àbí.
Yes, okay.
I don't understand. So maybe you can explain better. Let me understand what you mean by
Ẹ jẹ́ àṣẹ lè ń dọ́bù. Ẹ jẹ́ àṣẹ lè ń dọ́bù.
original in it. Ẹni tó tó original fún ẹ náà ló bá ń gbé. Báwo ló dáadáa ní?
Ṣá? Mo máa lè bẹ́ẹ̀ ká fi.
So last than interiors, I did not understand the question. Can I say something about that? Because okay, do you mean maybe the question you mean you're asking is that can you add water to it? So our facilitator, they are asking that can you add water to it?
Yes, if it is too thick, you can just sprinkle It's something that you sprinkle, like with this your foam now, you just sprinkle it inside, so it will. It's not something you can. You can't even. You can't. You might not even add up to maybe 0.5. It's not up to 1 liter.
Like half a liter.
Maybe like even half a liter, or not even up to that. But it depends on the viscosity of the paint. But usually it comes thick and ready to use. But if you need to put a bit of water, it will just be little water.
You guys are gatekeeping, no? No, you are not observing on this, no. Yes, this is a tutorial for Gravitex application, and we've done the theoretical part. So here is the practical part on how to apply it properly. So the first thing we are doing is to put some sheet of nylon on the floor so that it's not on the floor, which is very professional. And then the next thing we do is to also take.
So whenever we get our bucket, it's good that we mix everything, just to mix it from ground. Just mix it from ground.
Okay, last done, you can message me. That's my WhatsApp number. That's my WhatsApp number. 0904257. This particular number. So you can send a message to on that particular number.
Yeah.
For instance, you use an half million like this. How long can it take if you want to use the plant to another place?
Before it expires.
Before it will expire.
No, it does not really expire like that. If it does not cake. But another thing that you can smell, depending on the preservative.
So last done, message me is very important.
Ramadan go.
Message me on this number. 09042575896 is very important. On WhatsApp, that's the challenge to reach out to me.
So as I said, we use our one to take it. So this, what I've taken now, you cannot use scraper to take this quantity. So
No, one caption.
you take.
Okay, just need to watch out. Then capture gbogbo action yẹn. Mo máa fún yàn kó. Ká lọ sí ibi ẹ̀jẹ̀ àpapọ̀. Ìdáyé ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ dárí. I don't capture am.
So when you are applying, if you are loading it too much, you will not be seeing these things. These stones that you are seeing, it is what will bring out the pattern. So you have to ensure that when you are applying, at least you are seeing those stones.
So somebody is saying how many square meter can your bucket cover? That's 3.5 square meter. The ant fetching part is 3 Hello, ma. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma. Check it. Ṣé ẹni ẹni rán ẹ lọ́kọ̀ ẹ̀? Màá ní kọ́ máa yín. Màá ní kọ́ máa yín arrange it. Somebody says, well done, Mr. Tope Alao. Is there a participation you will do for me? I just want to know.
So after applying like that, we now try to smoothen it, at least to get some level of
The same.
leveling.
Sorry, but only these two can apply, or the other two can apply.
You can use the normal flat one, like the normal common one we use for screening. You can use that too.
Sorry, we also have a previous things here. Maybe you just show us how to apply it as well.
Okay.
We have a sample, so that we use one stone to kill two birds. Trowel is also another thing that don't jawos.
Yes.
You know how to do trowel very well. Only few people know how to do trowel. So which is why we brought a sample to also. All of you pay 100,000 for this training.
So we just allow it to set a bit. Let's do this. Then another thing is that when you want to apply, maybe you want to apply this side of the wall, just try and have a capacity that can finish this in a day, so that you will not be having join. Because when you stop here and you want to come and do it the other day, although you need to scrape like the edge like this, assuming it has dry, you scrape the edge a bit, then you apply. But anybody that has inside, you still be seeing the joining. So it's better that if it is this side you want to do today, you finish. Even though it's after 7 or it's not a work you say 5 done knock, make her dey go house. So just try and finish. If it's this side you can finish that day, finish it. You know that side is complete. So reduce the number of joining.
I want to ask a question. If you are applying this kind of design now, can you start from up or down?
Like me, I like starting from down. That's the way.
Just to complete it.
Just to complete this one.
That is must complete it. You can start it from up or down. So you must complete it. That very good.
So any painter that is here and you don't know how to screed, you'll be -1. No? So even though you don't like screeding, you must learn how to screed.
That one is possible. You must.
Because anybody that know how to screen, this Gravitex, you don't already 70% safe. You don't score 70%. So screening is an important skill a painter should endeavor. So you just try to make it at least a bit level.
So we are talking about how to apply Gravitex on your wall, which people call Gravitex. So if you are here, don't be afraid, share with your friends, share with your family member, even your enemy. This can make them extra millionaire. This can make them millionaire in 2026. So don't get skip. Make sure you subscribe on the screen, you share the live so that they can also join the live as well. So if you are yet to be following us, you are making a lot. Follow us. Everything will get so you can also put the number, and this is why we put something on the phone in the first place. So we can start on the screen, guys. So we are talking about after this one we also talking about how to apply it to the forward page. So these are the things that don't have anything like this. So start on the phone. Let's get this live to 20.
So let's look at this. This is a new floating chore. This one I've been using before. So this is what, when the stone key on this place, it will be able to drag it. So you know this one is already becoming flat. So it will not really pin out the pattern. So if you use, throw it away and buy a new one so that you can have a good finish. So for the horizontal stroke.
Okay, that's cool. No, yeah.
Okay. Oh, please show us the surface again. The face of the floating.
Okay.
It does not have any stick or that is dragging. Okay, the stone that's dragging
So it's already staining it, so we'll just clean it.
Where are your beats? Someone is asking.
Yes, our store is in Lagos. Lagos. Our store is in Lagos.
So that's for the horizontal stroke.
Nah, he's our cameraman now. he's doing his own camera stuff here. Yes, Gravitex. Yes, this is Gravitex. How to use Gravitex properly, guys. Make sure you share with your friend, your enemy, your neighbor, you know, people you want to be, you want them to become a millionaire in 2026. share this with them. But if you know how much people are making from Gravitex,
Sorry, bro, how much is this thing now?
The minimum market price is 25,000.
So, no, the...
So this one 3,000.
3,000.
3,000.
Normal price of scrap.
So maybe I should apply this one. I want this one to dry a bit.
and check out the second bucket one.
No, at least you want it.
Make sure you share the live. So to tap on your screen.
Help us send Lion.
Yeah, you don't even need lion. Just share it. Let people be aware of
So the way this place is joining now, assuming it has dried, there's no how it will Yoruba man ko male. So you see the joining. So
you have to be fast while you're applying.
Applying it. So that's why it's advisable. If it's this side you want to finish today, and Gravitex is not a work you should be doing. I want to do it alone. I want to know. To call other people.
Make sure you share this live. So tap on the screen, right? So this is Gravitex in action. This is not theory that you're doing. Apply it. Now use the stroke. This one is still like this, like action movie. So tap on the screen. Let's get to 20,000 likes. So tap on the screen. So as we are learning Gravitex, we are learning content creation as well. So for those of us that are trying to learn how to create content, this is how we do it. This is behind the scene. When you now see the replay online now, you'll be like, ah, so how did they do this thing? That's what they do. I'll just download the video again and then show people. So you get a lot. All right, exchange. Thank you very much. So if you are not yet following, you are wrong. If you are not tapping on the screen, you are wrong. If you are not sharing the live, you are wrong. If you have any question, you are not asking, you are wrong, bro. Ask your question before you start charging money for question.
Consulting.
For consulting. Okay, there's some questions. Very loaded. Very loaded. Thank you to Snag Inspector. Thank you very much for sharing the live. Thank you very much. Yes, anybody that is
So you can see those stones. So you make sure that when you apply it, you are seeing those stones. Something like silver grey. Like I said, you can't get billion white with Gravitex. Then
With math.
thank you to Kinsley for the follow. If you are not following, you are wrong. April Betsy, thank you for the follow. What's the solution for damn treatment? So use Tope and Twister codes. We have a lot of videos on that. Just go to my page, check, or you type on my Tope and Twister codes. You see a lot of videos done.
so we just try to smooth it a bit.
Okay, you smooth it. Not leave it rough.
Yes.
Use another tool.
This is the difference between professional work and roadside mechanic work. So you smooth things, you see. Don't go and be doing job that you will not smooth. So okay, you blend it in case you have joints. So you blend this. I think it's using foam. Don't forget the foam. The foam right there.
Yeah, I know.
Don't forget.
Okay, we like better. Go share, go dey like for.
Share, like, and subscribe. But let's come and carry it.
I put on people, you know.
So guys, up top on the screen.
So for vertical,
Okay, this is vertical now. This help us show the surface of the towel again. Okay, this is it. Don't have any roughness. It's just the stone on the wall that is causing the line. So so you always use the foam on the surface. There's a foam on the other hand. So this is for the vertical design. So different design that you want to do. Vertical one. This is vertical. Just draw the line. So is there any interval that you must do the line, or you just do it randomly?
you just try and observe if it has not dried very well, it will be staining it more. Like this stuff will be taking out the Gravitex.
Like
But
if the Gravitex on the wall has not dried.
if it is still very wet,
Okay.
so it will be staining this stuff more.
Okay.
Is that thing interesting? Is there any interval for the line to be showing, or you just do it
No,
randomly?
there's no, it depends on how you want it. If you want it very busy, that means you still have to drag it more.
Okay.
But if you are pleased, you also be checking it also. Is it balanced? You just try to check. Is it balanced? If it's not balanced, maybe this place is having less line. So I drag it. Okay, this place, I want it to still go. So I drag it. So it depends on how you want it. And it depends on clients. Some clients might want something very busy. Some might want, I don't want something to.
So, and some clients they don't know what they want. They just want to see Gravitex. Cameraman, change. Camera meeting. You doesn't know how to make your camera that time. Video right there. No, that time. That time, yeah. That time on the phone.
Well, this one is more common.
Okay, the horizontal one. This is the horizontal one at the top.
Brush, okay. So sometimes maybe you feel the stone inside is not bringing some pattern. So you just to increase the lines. So this is the horizontal, this is the vertical. So for those that use stick to draw their own, they just do something like
Your comment to that, yeah, you can add it.
This is artificial.
so. This is the artificial.
So
So Andy, it's just the normal brush stick. So the system for this, in order to not to, like this one now, is not uniform. Some are long, some are. So this one too, you'll be intentional about it. You can just do small, long, small, long, small, long, small, long, small. So in order just to, so everything should not be line, 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 line. It should just be the same. At least the artificial, the natural one. You can see some are very, some are even smaller.
It's beautiful, very beautiful.
No, it's natural.
Yeah, individual preferences.
Roughness. How roughness is there.
Let's show. I want to ask question. Their song will be like zero, like a C.
That's the floral tag.
Diagonal pattern and the last one is
Sorry.
Vertical, both vertical.
Let me see if we can.
Combination. This is another pattern.
Guys,
Another pattern.
So this is the Granada. So you have both the vertical and horizontal combined together. So it depends on what your client actually chooses. So some people might show you that this is the one I want. And sometimes you can present the option to the client. Because this horizontal is the common. So let's apply here. Let me apply here and do that flower pattern. Okay. Then she apply.
What about the Arabic pattern? The billionaire painter say, Mr. Sorry, come and teach me work. Thank you for the gift, Elite Edge. Thank you. Guys, let's observe on the screen. Let's share this live. Keep sharing, keep sharing. Keep sharing. This is how to apply it on the wall. This is how to apply it properly on the wall. It's a net. Mr. Sonic, Apollos is greeting you.
Okay, Apollos.
Painter, I beg. Give me his address.
We were the same set in artisan school.
Okay. So So Stanley says what's the name of the paint you use? It's floor paint. So you don't sell it here. It's floor paint. So anyway you want to buy, you just ask for floor paint. Guys, look tap on the screen. Look tap on the screen. We are here to get to 20K. Let's get to 20K. We can get to 20K. It's very easy. 20K is still paint. So let's get there.
Àbáyé ẹ̀jẹ̀gbà ẹ̀lú fún yẹn wọn fún international.
Cameraman. Because me, I know you. The highlight edge for the beat, I really appreciate you. Guys, let's tap on the screen. Let's tap on the screen. Let's get more people to join the live. Let's tap on the screen. Let's share the live. Share the live. After this, we are going to show you how to apply throwaway paint. Throwaway paint, that common one that you normally see that people will be bragging with. How to apply throwaway paint and Gravitex paint. So it doesn't take MBA or going to Harvard before you know how to apply all this. Right. So you can know how to apply it. Expressing yourself. This is you learning from your room. Papa, you don't know how to apply it. Papa. Gravitex paint, different pattern. These are the available patterns you can get. So this is the vertical one. This is the other one there is the horizontal one. So this one is the, what do you call it?
Granada.
Like it sounds like Canada, but Granada. So this one, so it's horizontal and then vertical. Horizontal and vertical. And that one is going to be the floral side. So that one is the circular, so make sure you're smoothing it after the application, smoothing it so that you're not going to shake it. So you smoothing it with another towel so that it will be smooth. So that's the difference between a novice work and professional work. So you smoothing it. Almost. I'm a charge like 100K perspective and because to be small work. This one is like 3 hours.
In fact, one break for.
Okay, I'd like to say my special greetings to Mr. for this.
Thank you.
Okay, he says thank you. So let's just tap on the screen, guys. Let's just tap on the screen. Let's get more people to like this live. The jail price, that's 50 square meters. So around like 5,000. Okay, 22,000 per square meter. So 22,000 times 50 times 50. So my include the plastering as you screening of the surface.
So you allow it to set a bit.
What's it been? Well, fine, bro. Dana. Horizontal. Vertical. Granada. Never apply to you, Flora.
Please, is there tape? Let's measure this square meter.
Yes.
Tape, yes.
One bag. Oh, I belong to that tower. I belong. Oh, I gave me the
There's the tap on the screen. Make sure you share this live. The tap on the screen. Make sure you share the live.
Hey, changing.
Just be like, come over to her. Àìmọ̀ aṣọ ṣòkòtò ṣẹ́ tó yẹ kí paint stain ẹ̀ la fi sọ́dọ̀ aṣọ ṣẹ́.
Alright, I'm coming. Money. Come on, one. You can't hear.
So this is practical. After that test, you are going to throw well. I hope you know professional.
Bonne tape, bonne tape. Okay. 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 Then. Okay. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀gbọ́dọ̀ jókòó.
Ṣé
àwọn training kan láti ṣe kọjá tó ra gbé big sam wá sí ìbàdàn náà pé perspective máa fi wọ painting ni tó máa paint wọ́n ṣe the olden days kò ní wúyàn.
bẹ́ẹ̀.
But when you no turn into business there's some steps.
Kò sí empty bucket kankan àbí? Mo fẹ́ fọ. Ó ní coaching show kan tó ṣe ń bí i. Ibẹ̀ mo ti meet wọn physically. Ó náà kí.
Wọ́n sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ṣe ìnáwó mo sọ yìí ó máa ń fly kiri ní o kò dàbí ti ọba yìí o ló túmọ̀ fi pàdé tó tọ̀.
But before then you ti máa ń rí content wọn dáadáa as in online.
Before you talk of 1 to 10.
1 to 10 1 to 3 gan.
Ẹ̀mọ ìkọ́lé wa ń sè ní 18 million. I don't remember my brother. I know that you have